If you're looking for waterfront living in the Bay Area without crossing into San Francisco prices, this part of Richmond is worth a look. So today we'll be touring 3 neighborhoods: Brickyard Cove, Point Richmond, and the Richmond Marina. So I want to say this side of Richmond has a completely different feel from the busier parts of the East Bay. You have bay views, marina access, walking trails, historic streets, local restaurants, condos near the water, hillside homes, and access to the Richmond ferry. People like me are drawn here because it offers a quieter lifestyle while still keeping you connected to San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, and Marin. In this video, I'll show you what each area looks like, what makes them different, and why buyers continue to pay attention to this part of Richmond. Let's go. Point Richmond is one of Richmond's oldest and most recognizable neighborhoods. This tunnel is one of Point Richmond's signature entrances with a mural by artist John Worrell from the 1990s. We're also close to 580 and the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, so access is practical. Downtown Point Richmond has a small-town Main Street setup with local restaurants, cafes, and longtime businesses. It's walkable, compact, and feels very different from the larger commercial corridors of Richmond. This is Hotel Mac. It's one of the local landmarks here, and it adds to that older historic charm. You'll also see civic buildings and older neighborhood architecture mixed right into the downtown. Now, Point Richmond is small, but it has a lot packed into it: food, trails, waterfront access, and local history. This is the kind of place where the buildings tell you the neighborhood has been here for a long time. One of the biggest perks here is direct Bay Trail access along Richmond's waterfront. This is Judge George D. Carroll Park, one of the small green spaces near downtown Point Richmond. This right here is the Richmond Plunge, a historic indoor pool and Point Richmond landmark from 1926. You get small details like this throughout Point Richmond, which gives it a softer, more local feel. Homes in this area range from older traditional homes to hillside properties with views. But buyers should know some streets are narrow, parking can vary, and the hillside layout matters. This is the draw: greenery, bridge views, water views, and a more tucked away East Bay setting. This is why Point Richmond attracts buyers who want something with more charm and scenery. It has a hillside coastal feel without being across the bridge in Marin. Throughout the area, you'll also see custom homes and unique properties that don't feel like every other neighborhood. The honest part, Richmond is still an industrial waterfront city, so depending on where you are, you may see the refinery, rail, or commercial areas nearby. That mix of residential, waterfront, and industrial uses is part of Richmond's identity. Fun fact, Pixar had its Point Richmond studio here before moving to Emeryville. Heading through the tunnel, you start to feel the shift into Brickyard Cove and the shoreline side of Point Richmond. One of the gems here is Keller Beach, a small bay beach tucked inside Knox Regional Shoreline. It's small, but for a local beach in Richmond, it's a pretty special feature. Knox is one of the main outdoor spots here, with trails, picnic areas, bay views, and access to Keller Beach. This is the part of Richmond that feels calm, open, and almost hidden if you don't know it's here. You get the contrast of bay views, trails, boats, and industry history all in the same frame. The Richmond Yacht Club is another major landmark in this area. For boaters and sailing people, this part of Richmond has a very established waterfront community. This is where Brickyard Cove starts to feel more residential and marina focused, with homes, condos, and boats right along the water. Brickyard Cove is especially known for condos, townhomes, and waterfront style living. We also have newer feeling homes and paths that connect back toward the water. This is the lifestyle buyers are usually drawn to here: homes close to trails, the bay, and outdoor space. Now we're heading into the Richmond Marina and Marina Bay area. Big reason this area stands out is the ferry, which has connected Marina Bay to San Francisco since 2019. Armistice is one of the local spots that gives Marina Bay more of a neighborhood identity. Plus, there's everyday conveniences nearby, which matters when you're actually living here. There are also waterfront area restaurants and places to meet up without having to leave the neighborhood. Marina Bay is more planned, with townhomes, condos, parks, and everyday conveniences nearby. You'll see a lot of townhomes and condo communities here, many close to the water and walking paths. Anchor Cove is one of the residential pockets buyers may come across when looking near the marina. The beach is another neighborhood-style development that gives this area a more coastal residential feel. And if you love sailing, kayaking, walking, or just being near the water, this area has that built into the lifestyle. The Bay Trail is one of the strongest reasons people like living here. There's a lot of leisure activities to do. Marina Bay connects to Richmond's World War II history, when the nearby Ford plant helped process military vehicles for the war effort. You'll also find single-family homes near the Bay Trail and waterfront, giving parts of Marina Bay a quieter residential side. And then you get these little everyday moments: people walking, birds by the water, families out on the trail. So hopefully this gave you a better feel for what it's like living on the water side of Richmond. What stands out about these neighborhoods is how different they are from each other. Point Richmond has more of a small town feel with historic architecture, local restaurants, and a walkable downtown area. Brickyard Cove has more of a tucked away waterfront feel with a mix of condos, townhomes, and single-family homes, including some properties sitting right along the water with incredible bay views and direct shoreline access. And the Richmond Marina gives you a mix of marina access, trails, ferry commuting, open waterfront space, and newer residential pockets. As for the market, Richmond has remained active, especially for homes that are priced well and presented properly. Median home prices in Richmond have generally been sitting in the low to mid $600,000 range recently, while Point Richmond and some waterfront properties can climb significantly higher depending on views, condition, and exact location. For sellers, these neighborhoods tend to attract buyers who care about lifestyle just as much as the home itself. Access to the water, the ferry, trails, views, and the overall atmosphere are a big part of what draws people here. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating to Richmond or the surrounding East Bay areas, feel free to reach out. And if you want to see more neighborhood tours and Bay Area real estate content, make sure to subscribe, because I'll also be doing a full breakdown on Richmond as a whole in another video. Thank you.